All right, this soundtrack just slaps. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to our first look at Sweet Transit, a game available now on Steam that really combines elements of Anno 1800, a little bit of City Skylines, a lot of Transport Fever, and of course, Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. Well, this game really truly allows you to build a city, as we can build the roads, we can build the buildings, we can build the train stations, we can build the city hall, and we can also build fishing docks in order to build what the game considers to be colonies. Now, think of the American West being settled in the 1800s with the trains coming around. Somewhere around like 1850 is where it feels like this game starts. And through the era of steam, all the way through diesel engines, we can build ourselves cities where the workers who come to these towns can then work on the railroad and all the railroad supporting industries, such as the timber industry, coal mining, and more, in order to make all those materials to build houses and bigger cities and eventually massive transit networks. Well, anyway, welcome aboard. Thank you very much for smashing that subscribe button. Thank you very much for hitting the like button. And everybody, thank you very much for becoming members with the join button down below. This game is really cool. No multiplayer as of yet, but it is early access, and I think this would be a phenomenal multiplayer game. And I can't wait to show you the city building aspects of this game, and I'm really surprised at how far they actually go. And I think there's a lot of things here that I'd love to see in other games, such as Mashinki, and again, Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe, Anno 1800, and much more. All right, guys, let's jump into it. Without further ado, let's take our first look at Sweet Transit. Let's go. All right, here we are. Welcome to Raptoria. Looking pretty sweet, huh? Here in Sweet Transit, that is. Well, that is the name of the game. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in here and see all the things that we can transport here in the desert. We have some clay here over in this marshy area and also this forest. We have coal. And if we look a little bit closer, doesn't that look like Factorio to you? I don't know. The art style here and the angle kind of just really remind me of Factorio for whatever reason, but that's on you to decide. Our first goal here today will be to build a warehouse so we can store all of our construction equipment. So I guess the best thing to do would be to build somewhere in the middle of the map, and I think next to this lake is a pretty good spot. So let's go ahead and get started with that by building the warehouse. There can only be one, but we can ship everything to it in order to build everything in the game. And the warehouse actually holds planks and stone and bricks and coal, and that's very much like Anno 1800. You start by building your storage buildings and a couple of farmhouses. You have bricks in the game and planks and other things like that, and that'll be needed to build our eventual village, but we must first build our warehouse. So this is the build mode, basically telling us that we can watch the right side of the screen where the little gray box is, and it'll give us additional tips and whatnot on what we can do with certain buildings. And then once we place this down, that's where all of our construction materials will be stored and eventually delivered there too via train. So I think we'll probably put that down right about there for now, so that's pretty good. Now let's go ahead and get started on our town. I think building a town here would be pretty good, as well as there's tons and tons of coal there. That's one of the things that we'll need in the village, so let's go ahead and get cracking on that one. The village hall is a main building for a village. From it, you can expand and build a thriving village. Your first village should be built near the water. Yeah, because we're going to be doing some fishing here pretty soon, so let's get to it then. That seems like a good spot. The village requires residences that are homes for workers. They can go to factories and farms and produce goods, provide residents with goods, and work to attract more inhabitants. So just like in Anno 1800, the more things that we provide them, the happier that they'll be, and there will be much more of them living in our city. Excellent. All right, perfect. So now we've got our little village down. Now we need to get a population of 100 laborers, so let's do that. Actually, now that we've selected the city, it's reduced to 20, but anyway, we're going to go ahead and build a few buildings there onto our town. I think we'll go ahead and expand into groups of 2 by 2. We'll go ahead and build two homes by 2 homes, that kind of thing. That should be more than enough. In fact, to start with, a home can have up to 30 inhabitants, but that's when all their needs are fulfilled, so we'll need to build a few more than just that. Now, just like in Anno, we just built some homes, and we're going to also build some roads out of dirt, so let's go ahead and put those all around here. Excellent. All right, looking good. Okay, let's unpause then, and we'll see our city grow, and you'll see city inhabitants walking around and whatnot. But yeah, that definitely looks like some concept art or something to me for Anno 1800. Look at all the chimneys, have smoke coming out of them. That's really nice. And people walking all around. I'd like to see some horses and some other things too being pulled around on the road, but hey, it is what it is. All right, we're about to achieve 20 workers, so that'll allow us to get access to our water towers. Water towers provide water service to nearby buildings. Services include happiness, or influence happiness and productivity. So the more productive they'll be, and thus more profits and money. Money and profits. All right, let's go ahead and build a water tower somewhere nearby. That's a pretty good spot here. We're going to build like a little depot area down here, and maybe a little fishing dock or something. Some goods can only be made in a village or a city using production buildings such as a fishing dock. The fishing dock produces fish, and when the fish are provided to the residents, more people will go and live there, and thus more taxes will be collected. Now that's pretty good news then. That means that there are certain things that cities can do that the railroad can't, and there's certain things that the railroad can do that the cities can't, so they got to work in conjunction. What's your function? You know what I mean? All right, let's go ahead and put down a fishing dock somewhere around here. I guess we'll put it right there. That's a good spot. And we also need to put down a storage warehouse, and this is storing goods that will be used by the cities. The warehouse is different. The warehouse gives us all sorts of construction materials for building the cities, but in order to make them thrive, we need to provide them with goods, and so thus we can kind of provide like a little warehouse here in order to store all those goods. So let's go ahead and plop that down there, and we'll go ahead and connect a road then for the fishing dock, and everything should be hunky-dory. Perfect. Should be good. All right, so now workers can make it to the fishing dock. They can store the fish there. There's water for everybody in the town. Excellent. Everybody's happy. All right, the next goal then is to achieve a population of 400 workers, but I think something else will unlock before we do that. Let's see. Then the next thing we're trying to unlock is that is a mine right there, and so that's going to be for mining out coal from up here at this mountain, and then we should be able to provide fuel to our trains. So now that we'll have trains in the area, one of the most important things is to keep them fueled. Now, in this game, if our trains run out of fuel, they just slow to a crawl, and so it's not the end of the world, but it's definitely not great for, your economy if it's basically moving at a snail's pace. So we're going to build a few more buildings here so we can get some more workers in order to go into the mines eventually, and also people to work at the fishing docks and other things that we happen to build. And yeah, this is usually the way I do it in Anno 1800 as well. Click and drag maybe a 2x2 thing of homes, or a 2x3, that type of thing, and everybody will be happy. So we got to get up to 100, so let's go ahead and speed up time as we wait. We've got more than enough homes. We just need the people to move in, and indeed they did. Perfect. Let's build ourselves a coal mine. This seems like a good spot to build a coal mine here. If we click on this menu, yep, we can see there. To build a coal mine, you'll need a coal deposit. Coal mines produce coal, which is used as fuel for trains. Bring it to the warehouse and the villages for train refueling. Trains refuel automatically when they stop at the station that has fuel. So we will need to deliver coal to all of the stations, or at least to every station on a train's route. So if a train has 10 stops and it's low on fuel, which is a lot of stops, by the way, but let's just say it does, you got to make sure that one of them at least is connected to this route, so that way it can continuously get fueled via the coal. All right, there's our coal mine. For efficient production, you should expand your production buildings. Select the building to open the expansion build menu. Okay, so we can actually expand on that, or we can close that. All right, the next thing is to build a small station. Build a station right next to the building to connect it. You got it. So now we're going to build this station for the workers, so that way they can come on down to the mine. A train can use the station as long as there are 2 rails parallel with the station. Wagons that do not have station platforms on either side will not be able to use the station. You can expand it with platforms and bridges. Okay, so that's something we can build eventually. All right, so Station 0 has now been built. Station 1, I'm assuming, will be down here at the town. We want to definitely build that in the middle of Raptoria. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we can start delivering workers. I'm very excited. Now we're about to see our first group of miners coming into the town, or from the town, to go mine up at the old coal mine. Perfect. And we're also going to need an area to build our train to, a depot at some point. So let's build a little further away on the edge of town. That should be good there. And then we can build our platforms now. And we'll do the same at the other train station too. So let's go ahead and go by a... let's see, that's 2, 4, 6 is good, I think. So we'll go ahead and start with a platform there. And we'll go ahead and do the same at the other station. Now, in this game, trains, I don't believe, can pull like a 180. We actually have to have the trains, kind of go around on a loop. There's no turntables either, so we kind of have to make like a a full loop for the train to drive on. I think that's 5, so we want 1 more. Now we'll build it up there, why not? Alright, perfect. Now we can start building some railroad tracks. And we can connect these stations up. Pretty easy, honestly. Go ahead and build up this way. Okay, and we're going to have our train track curve up here. Very nice. Good. And then we can have it curve right back into the station right down here. Fantastic. All right, now we need the loop around the back end. So let's go ahead and make sure we do that. Boy, it's trying to be difficult with me, isn't it? Trying to get it to go straight this way. But I guess it can kind of curve like that. There we go. Alright, so that'll be a loop for the train there. Now, some of these trains have multi-drive, so they should be able to actually loop around or go in reverse, and so that's kind of a good thing to keep in mind there. Go ahead and have this train track loop back this way. Because we will need to keep in mind that we have to have a depot. Would like to make that a loop a little different. Oh man, some of these isometric games like this are so annoying. As you can see, I was trying to go straight up and then back this way, so we'll kind of have to fight with the game a little bit to make it exactly the way we want it. Something more like that. Now, let's see what it's like to delete some pieces that we don't necessarily want anymore. Ah, nice. The little fringe edges can be removed quite easily. Okay, now we're going to need a train depot to buy our train and build that as well. Now, the interesting thing in this game is that a train is as long as your depot. So if you make a 45 tile long train depot, that's how long you can make your trains too. In this case, we're probably going to go with maybe like a 6 or something like that. So a train depot is used to build trains. You can build it anywhere. Just make sure that the train will be able to get out. Select the depot and drag with your left mouse button to build. The maximum train length is based on the depot length. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, let's go ahead and make that then. Train depot. Now, the interesting thing about the train depot too is that it's 3 tiles wide. So, as you can see, it's a big old building. So we better place it back a little further, even further. There we go. 60 should do. And then we'll go ahead and bring the train. There we go, the train line out like that. Perfect. Alright, so that doesn't look too bad, does it? Now we can build a platform on either side, we can build a bridge across, we can upgrade the stations later, but we got to get everybody to work, so let's get building this train. Alright, add a train to the queue. We're going to go with the ST10, so we can go ahead and buy that train. We can buy a coal tender, and we can buy an ST10 wagon, since all that it takes for the coal mine is for 40 workers to arrive. So we can go ahead and go with that then. And let's go ahead and build. Perfect. Now we have ourselves a train. Now we can make a few changes to this train if we want to, but the first thing that we should really do is create a route. We'll go ahead and start with Route 1, and we'll rename that the coal train. Roscoe P. Excellent. And now we can also select some stations, so we want the train to first stop at Station 1, and then stop at Station 0, or Station 2, I guess, in this case. So now the next thing is to make sure that the train waits for a long enough time for people to get on board. This is very critical. The game does not automatically wait at the station long enough for passengers to get on, so we have to kind of wait a little bit of time for passengers to get on and off. You'd think that if the station had passengers at it, that the train would stop until, like for example, if it had 150 capacity on the train and 120 people were there, that the train would wait for them all to get on, but that's not the case. So we definitely want to wait for some time to pass, and now we can activate the train to go out to the passengers. So now all we got to do is click on the train. You can see it inside the depot. We're just going to assign it to the coal train route, and things should be working. And there she goes. Now we have options for all sorts of different rail signals, so we can block off different sections of the track. And there's even a little tutorial for that. If we go ahead and click on that, it'll kind of show us a little bit of detail. We can learn, so there'll be some more videos and tutorials on that, but for now I think we're okay since it's a very simple train line. Alright, we're waiting now at the station. Looks like almost like 120 people were waiting at the station. and they're going to go to work down here at the coal mine, which eventually is going to produce 200 coal. Now, in order to refuel that train, we're going to go ahead and just build a couple of things real quick to store coal at the actual stations. So if we click on the station, we can make a little coal storage building for it here, and that can go ahead and provide it with fuel anytime it needs. There goes our train. Our first train is up and running. There it goes. Very nice. Oh man, there it is. All right, so workers should be going into the coal mine now. There they go. They're getting off the train, and all of them have exited the train. So workers can actually get tired, as the game alludes to. People will eventually want to go back and forth from the train station. So it's not just drop off worker, get coal, and return. Oftentimes it's drop off the workers, switch out for anybody who may be tired, and then head back to town. So people who are tired will return, and then so if 20 people are at the mine and 20 people are tired, the train will bring back 20. They'll get off at the station, and 20 more people can hop back on, or however the numbers work out. In this case, just a couple of people were tired, and so now 40 more people should jump on. So now we've produced almost a quarter of the coal that we need. They want us to produce 200 coal. That'll then unlock the sawmill for us, the tree nursery, wood storage, and a flat wagon. So we're going to be building more than just one train. So eventually, we're going to have to bring all this coal back down to the warehouse. You can kind of see people are a little sad face right now. Oh, actually, no, that's just a train. That actually looks like a sad face. It looks like 2 eyes, a nose, and kind of a sad face mouth. But if you think about it, it also could be a train. The light in the front, the 2 windows, and the cow plow at the bottom. Which it must be because, you know, that's just how it is. Kind of cool that we can actually see our empire from space like this. Makes for management to be a lot easier. You can see where your trains are, where your lines are, and where everything is going. Alright, the next goal after this will probably be to reach a certain population of people. So we will need to build this town even bigger. This town will have to get much, much bigger. So let's go ahead and make sure we do that. Click on RAPTORIA. I believe the next goal is to reach a population of 400. So we definitely need to, A, provide coal to these people. And B, well, coal, of course, will be a fuel that they could use to heat their homes or whatnot. But the other thing is also to ensure that we've got food here, too. So we better make sure that the dock is producing enough as well. Looks like inside the town. The supply is improving, just like in Anno 1800. The arrow's pointing up. You can see supply is improving, and capacity is 200 there at the little docks. Oh, and the train is back. Excellent. Okay, let's build the roads for the homes we just plopped down. There we go. And excellent. Perfect. So now more homes can be filled in next to the train station, and we can also put more depots and things there. Oh, look at that. Wow. There's actually like pathfinding for the population. You can actually see them all pouring out of the station and going to different areas inside the city, and then the train will make its loop back around and head back up to the station, Station 0. Almost enough coal has been produced. Very nice. Now, there's all sorts of different ways to make these stations. One way I used to do it, or that I tried with just earlier, is to make a loop like this and then go around back out. So that way the train passes the station, or arrives at the station, and then just leaves instead of having to double back. But sometimes it's all limited on space, sometimes it's limited on budget, so you do what you want to do. Check this out. We can adjust the time of day. At nighttime, the town looks all nice and lit up. Our cursor becomes like a little flashlight. How lovely. So very early morning, very late at night if we'd like to. Very cool. We can also rename these stations too, so we can go ahead and call this the coal mine. And we can also name the other one RAPTORIA Station or something like that. A little better than 0 and 1 or whatnot. That way we can track everything. Okay, now our main goal is to get a group of laborers up to 400, but the current goal at the town, or what it should be, is to actually unlock all of those sawmills and stuff, because now we have upkeep to worry about. So we are going to eventually, yes, as you see, our number of wood is going down, and that's because now we have upkeep to worry about. So we need to make a sawmill. We're going to need workers at the sawmill as well. The sawmill produces wood, which is a buildable material. All buildable materials need to go to the warehouse. Warehouses store all materials that are required to build or upkeep. Right, so now we can build a sawmill somewhere outside of the gray area. So we can't build anywhere here. So we have to build up either by the mines or down by the warehouse or somewhere in between, like here. So that means we'd have to have the workers come down here via train and then get off and go to work here and then ship this down to the warehouse via a train as well. It might be a good idea for us to build up here since we're next to the old coal mines. Kind of weird to clump everything together, but if it works, it works. So maybe we'll build a little sawmill right there too. Alright, perfect. And we'll have to have some more workers arrive, so there'll definitely be some more people there as soon as the train goes back and forth. So now, Tree Nursery will start producing planks. And we can increase our wood storage too. Now, the next thing is going to be to get all the way down to the warehouse and connect that with the station too, so that way we can use that wood to continue to build the neighborhood. So we got as many workers as we're going to get for now. But I think what we want to do here is continue to build through. There we go. It's too bad we can't actually, like, I don't think we can do any terraforming here. Maybe not so close to the edge like this. I would like to build it along this way. Let's see if we can actually make it. It's a little too narrow for a diagonal. That's a shame. I want it to look all nice and organized, but that's okay. There we go. So now we'll need a train to deliver logs to the warehouse. So this will be our log train, I suppose. Let's see how straight we can make that for a little while. All the way down to the warehouse. Now we can connect into the side of the warehouse, but I think we're going to want to build our station first. So let's connect to the actual warehouse then. Now, I don't know if you can actually connect to that directly or not, but I'm assuming since the system works where it has to be offloaded via platforms, that is probably the way it's done. There we go. I also wish we could customize what's here. Sometimes there's benches, sometimes there's lights. I wish I could customize the appearance of the station based on what's going to be delivered there. So passengers or food or wood or whatever. But remember, early access. Not even out yet, I know. Well, it is out for you, but not fully released is what I should say. Nice, beautiful train line next to the lake. Isn't that gorgeous? All right. We'll make a little loop back here. So frustrating how the game tries to make it go. I would like this, but I'd like it on the other side. Or rather, just to do a full loop. I think what we could do is probably try to win against it at its own game like that. Yeah, there we go. So something along this line might be easier. OpenTTD and all the other train games always have those darn annoying pathfinding issues like that where it won't necessarily go the direction you want it to. All right, laborers 10. We're going to need some more people here delivered to the coal mines. I guess we'll just call this the industrial area now. There we go. And so now we'll have to have that train come back so we can get more workers going there. So the next thing is, if this is going to be making coal and wood, we should probably have another train coming through. So it might be a good idea to have a switch for these two to pass each other. And since one of these trains can go straight from the industrial area, we can just make a bypass right through there. And we could just keep the one station platform just to keep things simple, at least in terms of stations. And then this train can go all the way through here. So let's prepare the signaling then. So this train will probably come back this way. And we'll need a train to go that way. But it should be a two-way. There you go. And we should be able to build a signal like this. Wait, which way does the train go through? I think it goes up and around. Yes, it does. There we go. I'm not sure if this will overlap because I don't know if I can control that, but... There we go. Ah, nice, and it colors all the different sections. That's really helpful, really helpful. Alright, now I'm a little nervous to send our train back to the station. It might create a little bit of a problem for us, but luckily so far we've been able to get about over half the workers that we need in order for them to be happy here at RAPTORIA. Looks like they still require some things. Just like in Anno 1800, they want multiple goods. So they do have water, they have fish, they have a need for clothing, potatoes, and also bread. So that's probably one of the last things that we're going to make. Since the bread will require a farm, probably workers for the farm, then the grain to be brought to a mill, and then the mill turned into flour will then have to probably be brought to a bakery, unless we can do that in the town and deliver all those goods there later on. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and send this train to the depot. Poof, there it goes. And now the train is here. Now I want to modify this train, train number 1. So hopefully we can do this. Train 1 cannot reach destination, which is fine. Sell, send to train depot, or is set to multi-drive, which will let the train drive in reverse, but it's not necessarily something that I think I want at the moment. There's the overview of the train. And if we click on the depot, and not the train itself, let's see if we get different options. Looks like it's about the same here. See if we can manage our trains. Current problems. Not enough people. Train cannot reach destination. Well, I guess it's being held hostage, isn't it? Calm down there, train. Train is disabled. That's fine. Let's go ahead and remove this route for the train. Enable. Don't want to give it a new route, but I do want to edit the train. Train is now inside the depot. Add to train queue. I don't see any option to modify the train at all. Sell, send to depot. Disable. That's for color. Routes, we can put it on the coal train route. But I don't want to do that at the moment. Alright, well, let's go ahead and sell. We do have plenty of money, so let's go ahead and buy some new trains. So we're going to go ahead and make the first train deliver 2 types of passengers then. So this will be our passenger train, worker train. Our worker express. And we'll go ahead and build that one. Excellent. Workers at work will get tired and need to come back. Oh yes. A tired worker cannot go to work, so make sure you have plenty of rested workers to replace the tired ones. Of course, of course. Let's build another train now. We want a train to haul coal. And maybe lumber? Oh, we want to, Oh, good. This is our passenger train. That's fine. So we'll go ahead and put that on the coal train route, which should be all set to go. Alright, so this is our passenger train now. So how do we edit that? Go to RAPTORIA station. It should be able to get out of there. Should. I don't see any other trains. Train 1. Worker Express. It's on coal train. Go to RAPTORIA station. And it should be able to get out of there unless the signals are Oh, are the signals changed from the train's previous... Uh-oh. Let's actually make this train blue as well. There. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to delete some of the signals and see if that might be the problem. And the train should be good to go. It is enabled. We want it to first go to RAPTORIA Station, which it should be able to go over the top and then down. Huh. Let's remove some of the signals. Hope there's not an issue with those. Okay. Oh yeah, there it goes. That's all good now. Alright, we're going to redesign that section a little bit. Alright, we'll have the loop go down just to avoid any sort of confusion. A turntable would be nice in these games, wouldn't it? That's probably as good as that's going to get. There we go. Much better. Alright, so now the train should be able to offload with passengers. .40 workers are there. And we should have some workers here shortly. Production is inefficient due to the lack of workers. Looks like we produced a ton of coal. Alright, let's make a coal storage at RAPTORIA Station. Just because it looks nice. And we'll have to build one down here too at the Station 2. Which we'll call the, I guess, the Central Station. Central Supplies. Huh. Won't let me build any coal down there. I guess it's because it's within range of the warehouse, but there shouldn't be anything stopping us from building that. Excellent, the warehouse station. Alright, perfect. Train is coming through. It is loaded with workers. I wish we could loop it around, but I guess our current setup is just going to kind of prevent that for now. It's okay. Alright, let's make sure everybody's getting to work. Now, we brought over 80 workers. 40 out of 40 and 40 out of 40. So we should be able to swap anybody who's tired. Next time, let's go ahead and have the industrial area offload. That way there'll be workers there and then we can swap them out later. It's like we're priming it or something like that for... We're jump-starting it. We're popping the clutch on the economy. That'll be fine. Alright, now we need a new train, don't we? It's been a while, but we definitely need a new one. Let's see. So now we need a lumber express. So that'll be the flat wagon F10. Looks like that can deliver wood and also stone, bricks, and apparently its fuel is coal. So that does make sense. This car is 4 long, but we should also be able to store coal. But maybe we can do that a little bit later. We'll go ahead and go with the, let's see, each lumber is, looks like 40. 40 lumber can be stored at each one of them. That's pretty a lot. That's quite a bit. 80 lumber to be shipped along like that? That's a lot. Let's go ahead and build that train. And let's set up a new route for it. So the new route will be the lumber route. For our lumber supply. So that will have to go to the industrial area. Wait for 20 seconds. And then go to the warehouse station for 20 seconds. And that should work just fine. Now, I'm not sure if there's train crashes in this one, but I would like to see. So let's send it out. Send it! Well, he's already on the wrong track. Or no, he's not. Oh. Did I delete that other signal? Let's see. No, we can't modify it now. Alright, let's have you go back to the station. Make way, pal. And then we should be able to have this one way. Hold control to stop at next signal. Ah, there we go. Oh, so you have to delete it in order to do that. Okay. Well, we don't want that train to go back that way. Alright, so now our passenger train is loading. And hopefully that train comes back and offloads with workers. This train will be taking the top route. And we'll make sure that this is okay for that. That's a simple loop, so that should be okay. Alright, passengers are incoming. More workers. 80 should be ready to go at both areas. Let's make sure the offload works. Nobody's getting... Not enough people are working, which makes work inefficient. Try bringing more people. Well, pretty sure we brought everybody we could, and nobody's getting off the train cars. And as for the lumber, excellent. That's a very nice way for that to go. I like that. Good way. There we go. And when this train comes back, it'll take the top route, and that should be just fine. Alright, let's set this back to swap workers as they instructed. 20 seconds should be enough. Alright, what else can we do here? Oh, we can expand. Oh, we need to build a tree nursery. Okay. So we actually have to build the forest for this. I was assuming that if we built it in a forested area, that would be okay. But in this case, we actually have to build the tree nursery itself, which is kind of cool, actually. Not only do we get to place the building, but we also get to place the logging area, too, for it, which is pretty cool. There we go. Then we'll need some wood storage areas. And we can put that right next to the industrial area. No? There we go, some storage area for that. Alright, workers will still need to be delivered here. But it looks like we just increased our storage a bit. I think that, yeah, that increases storage to 400, so we're probably never going to fill that up. Oh, nice. And there's actually fences around the trees, too, so you can actually... Oh, that's so nice that we're able to make our own area for that. Very nice indeed. All right, where's our cargo train? Oh, loaded industrial area. You won't need to do that, my friend. My mistake. So offload at... Oh, that's weird. Warehouse should only offload for 20 seconds, and then it should come back. That's weird. There might be no rails to the destination. Oh, is the signal. I guess we'll make some block sections. This all seems to be on the orange line. Oh, I see. Huh. Well, that's interesting. He should still be able to go all the way there. And that's not necessarily needed. That's just for an experiment. To which I can't sell. There we go. There we go. Not really necessary to have those signals there, except for up here. This is something that I'll tinker with later and see how it works in this game versus how other games work and how it should actually work. And the same with the passengers and such, where we have 80 workers on board with 20 tired. Although we only have 40 here at the mine, but also some people at the lumber camp. But so long as the train makes it there, we'll be alright. Just want to make sure it happens. Alright, so not enough people, more like people not getting off the train. People are unhappy. I agree. We need more water, it looks like. So in order to build another water tower, looks like we can plop that down over here. Plop it down next to the train station. That should solve that problem soon. Looks like they also have a lack of fish. Does that mean lack of supply? Yes. So we just need some more fishing docks, which we can build over here. But unfortunately, we don't have wood. So that's going to be a big problem. Now, it would be nice to be able to buy some things. It'd be cool to be able to have a port or something like that where ships could come in. So that way we could buy whatever else was needed. But anyway, not bad for a first look, I'd say. Not bad at all. Well, folks, that's all we have time today for our first look at Sweet Transit, but I'll be live streaming this one and going into more detail about the signals and switches and figuring out supply issues and employees and really elaborating on what we did here today, being just a first look, taking a look at the game's features and all the things that it has to offer, as it's now out in early access on Steam. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. Thanks for leaving a like. Thanks for all the positivity, kindness, and awesomeness down below in the comment section as always. And I'll see you all very soon. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.